Hello friends, welcome to Technique. This is Nirmal here, and in this video we'll be doing a detailed camera review of the new Poco M4 Pro 4G. The Poco M4 Pro 4G comes with a 64 megapixel triple camera setup, and it also has a 16 megapixel selfie camera. So this device is priced 14,999 and it comes in 3 different variants as well. So for the pricing of 15,000 rupees, how good is the camera on the Poco M4 Pro? That's what we're going to talk about in this detailed video. So before getting started, if this is your first time on this channel, do hit that red subscribe button and also hit the bell icon to get notified of all the videos we publish. So let's begin. So first, let's have a look at the hardware offered on the Poco M4 Pro. The Poco M4 Pro comes with a primary 64 megapixel sensor with f1.8 aperture, a secondary 8 megapixel ultra wide angle lens and a third 2 megapixel macro sensor. The front camera is a 16 megapixel shooter with f2.4 aperture. So let's find out how the camera performance is in this price segment. First, the daylight shots. Under bright outdoor conditions, the phone is able to capture good images. They are sufficiently bright with good colors too. The contrast and details also seems good. The saturation levels are also quite good for the budget segment. The sharpness levels are pretty decent, but you could have been a tad better as well. And this is evident when you pixel peep. There is a bit of noise in daylight captures, but probably acceptable for a 15K device. The dynamic range is also quite good overall. Overall, the daylight captures are pretty good on the Poco M4 Pro. The ultra-wide angle camera sensor produces decent results for an 8 megapixel shooter. Surprisingly, the colors are natural and also similar to the primary camera. They are usable too. The sharpness levels are decent and this is quite acceptable for an 8 megapixel shooter. Now moving on to the close-up shots, it once again produces good results overall with vibrant colors and even the sharpness levels are good. The details are good too. The phone has 2 megapixel macro sensor and this is definitely not the best macro sensor we have seen, and the quality is strictly average and the colors are a bit washed out too. Now moving on to the portraits. The portraits on the Poco M4 Pro was kind of disappointing. The skin tones are not so great, but the biggest problem is the extreme over sharpening of the skin tones in the images and it doesn't look great. The edge detection seems decent, but overall the quality is average. Moving on to the low light images. Under indoor lights or with artificial lights, the results are quite good and it produces good colors and images are sufficiently sharp too. When you turn on the night mode, the details are good and images are clean looking, but at the same time there is noise, and which is evident when you zoom in. But overall, considering this is a 15K device, we feel this is quite a decent performance in low light. The 16 megapixel selfie camera produces good results. The colors are quite okay and the skin tones are also good, but there is a bit of sharpening if you turn off the beauty mode. The dynamic range is also quite good overall. The phone also comes with portrait mode for selfies, and here the edge detection is fairly accurate and it does a decent job overall. Now moving on to the video recording. The phone can record videos only in 1080p at 30 fps with EIS being offered. But the quality is quite good. The colors are good and the sharpness levels are also decent. The footage is stable and does a good job for the segment. The lack of 60 fps might be a downside. The phone also comes with slow motion videos and the quality is decent. So this is the video recording taken using the front camera on the Poco M4 Pro, so it can record videos in 1080p resolution and you can judge yourself how good the clarity of the videos and also the audio output. So summing up, how good is the Poco M4 Pro as a camera smartphone in the 15K segment? The Poco M4 Pro 4G is a good option at 15K with good daylight shots, decent ultra-wide, close-up and low light for the segment. The selfies are good, although a bit of fine-tuning is required. But the portraits definitely need an update as it's way too sharpened. So that is a detailed camera review of the Poco M4 Pro 4G. So what do you guys think about the Poco M4 Pro 4G? Do share in your thoughts in the comment section. This is Nirmal signing off with a camera review of the Poco M4 Pro 4G. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.